Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time today. This is James Chen from JP Morgan Taiwan Investment Banking team. We're honored to have Oneness as the presenting company for this session. You have the company's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Stephen Chen, as the main presenter for today's session. Now I'll hand over to Dr. Chen to start the presentation.
Thanks to JP Morgan for the presentation opportunity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shigen Chen, the Chief Medical Officer at Oneness Biotech. I'll be sharing the progress we have made in the past year. Page 2. This is a forward-looking statement for your reference. Page 3. We are a listed company on Taipei Stock Exchange. Our head office and the research center are located in Taipei, Taiwan. We dedicate our R&D into chronic dermatology and immunology, and have pipeline spanning from the preclinical stage to NDA or market stage. We also have established a PICS GMP certified manufacturing site in the south of Taiwan to support the global demand of our leading drug, Efficacy cream, with an annual production capacity of 25 million tubes. Our company core value is established on the basis of science, integrity, and transparency. So we keep the investor Q&A on a daily basis and the investor conference every 3 months. Page 4. Oneness Biotech has been established since 14 years ago and become listed on Taipei Stock Exchange since 2011. Our market cap has increased from $80 million in the start to $3.5 billion in the end of last year. This is a huge growth to a biotech company within a decade. We are in fast-growing stage where we complete a licensing deal for our antibody new drug, FBA25, in year 2020 for $530 million. Launched our first new drug, Efficacy for diabetic foot ulcers, in the market in 2021. And will pursue market expansion for Efficacy by multiple market entries and indication expansion. We also anticipate more pipeline to reach clinical proof of concept and be ready for our licensing negotiation. Page 5. Oneness is the largest biotech in Taiwan in terms of a market cap. Multiple pipelines are under development in different stages. In order to maximize the value of the assets, we adapt multiple indication development strategy. Oneness has strong cash position to support the future development and is anticipating the cash flow injection by launching Efficacy into market and the licensing of new drugs. We are also ambitious to become the leading biotech in Asia. Page 6. Our new drug pipeline is spanning from preclinical to NDA stages. Page 7. We have a late-stage drug, Efficacy, reaching the market. For antibody new drug, we utilize our antibody technology platform for optimization and development. We also work with our affiliated company in Shanghai, Microbio Shanghai, for nucleic acid new drug. Various milestones are expected to happen in the following 2 to 3 years. Page 8. The first key pipeline I would like to share is our lead drug for diabetic foot ulcers, Efficacy cream. Its unique mechanism of action can address a large unmet medical need in diabetic foot ulcers and other chronic wounds. Page 9. Diabetic foot ulcers has been the leading cause of disability and death in diabetic patients. More than 30 million DM patients worldwide are with DFUs. However, there has been no new drug approved by the US FDA for this indication since 1997. This has imposed a huge medical burden globally due to the lack of effective drugs. Page 10. We have conducted a phase 3 study across the US, Taiwan, and China on Efficacy treating diabetic foot ulcers. This is the first large randomized control study to investigate whether a macrophage regulating new drug is effective to treatment diabetic foot ulcers. Efficacy has shown superior efficacy to the standard of care. The outstanding phase 3 data has been published on the leading journal JAMA Network Open in 2021. Page 11. We enrolled 236 subjects. The patients in the phase 3 study are equally distributed to Efficacy group and the control group. The baseline characteristics are well balanced. Page 12. We evaluated the efficacy endpoints according to the FDA guidance on chronic wound trial. So both the instance of wound closure and time to complete wound closure are included as primary and secondary endpoints. Efficacy has achieved superiority to standard of care. Also, we have seen Efficacy continuously heal more patients in every visit, but the standard care has a plateau in patient response approaching the end of the treatment. Page 13. In terms of the safety profile, the related adverse events in Efficacy group were only a few and comparable to the market standard of care dressing. No related serious adverse event happened in the Efficacy group. The safety of Efficacy is well supported. From the phase 3 result, we have seen Efficacy deliver robust clinical data and adequate safety profile. Page 14. The outstanding efficacy of Efficacy is based on its mechanism of action by regulating macrophage in the chronic ulcers. From the in vitro and in vivo studies, we have seen that Efficacy decreased the pro-inflammatory M1 macrophages and increased the pro-healing M2 macrophages so that the ulcer can be transited from inflammation to proliferation stages and achieve wound healing. This is an important feature of Efficacy as it provides a differentiated approach to treat chronic wounds from the current treatment options. Page 15. The diabetic foot ulcer unmet medical need has increased and has created more than $14 billion market opportunity for an effective new drug. We can see the blockbuster potential of a DFU new drug by fulfilling the unmet market demand and anticipate the real market demand will grow after the launch of this new drug. Page 16. Efficacy also has strong potential to address a wide range of indications with such unique mechanism of action to tackle the chronic wounds. some of the physicians in Taiwan have started using fexofenadone on pressure ulcers, radiation dermatitis, and more types of wounds. The treatment results are satisfactory, and they give very positive feedback. Multiple indication expansion exploratory studies are ongoing. Page 17. With the robust clinical data and the unique mechanism, we have strong confidence that fexofenadone addresses billions global market. For global market entry, we have adapted regulatory strategy, proceeded with licensing negotiation, and secured stable production and supply. More importantly, we have patent covers the API, formulation, and the manufacturing method till 2038. Page 18. The second drug on the pipeline, FB825, is a first-in-class anti-IgE B-cell antibody for allergic diseases. We out-licensed this new drug to Leo Pharma in 2020 for $530 billion after we completed the first inpatient study. Page 19. FB825 is a novel therapy for allergic diseases by depleting the IgE-producing B cells and control allergic reactions. Atopic dermatitis and allergic asthma are both Th2-driven diseases and closely related to the IgE chain reactions. Page 20. We have conducted a first inpatient clinical study and found that FB825 delivered comparable efficacy to the current blockbuster drug, Dupixent. FB825 has its advantage with less dosing frequency and a better safety profile. We have performed another exploratory study on FB825 and are happy to see that the efficacy in mean change in EASI score between the two exploratory trials is reproducible. Page 21. Under our partnership with Leo Pharma, we are conducting two phase 2A clinical trials for two indications, atopic dermatitis and allergic asthma. We are expecting the AD final data in the first half of this year and asthma final data in the first half of the next year. With both indications, FB825 is targeting $40 billion market demand. Page 22. The third drug on the pipeline is FB704A, a first-in-class interleukin-6 inhibitor antibody for severe asthma and chronic kidney disease-induced cardiovascular disease. Unlike the existing interleukin-6 inhibitor in the market for the rheumatoid arthritis, we focus on niche indication development. Page 23. Severe asthma with neurotrophic phenotype has been unmet medically. It is estimated that 5.5 million patients worldwide suffer from this disease. Interleukin-6 is a key cytokine to this disease, and our FB704A is a potential effective biological treatment to create a billion market. That's exciting. Page 24. In addition to severe asthma, we have in parallel developing a second indication for FB704A to maximize the assay value. Interleukin-6 is also critical to the chronic kidney disease-induced cardiovascular disease, and 350 million CKD patients are at risk of developing a cardiovascular disease. This is a huge market that will create opportunities for FB704A. Page 25. For the two indications, FB704A has been demonstrated a significant reduction in the key indicators, including CRP, hepatoglobin, and neutrophils. We are also conducting a phase 2A study in severe asthma and expect to have the final data in the first half of 2023. Page 26. It is clear that our R&D strategy is to maximize the value of a pipeline by developing multiple indications. We have dual indications for these two co-antibodies. Page 27. The last new drug I would like to highlight is SNS-812. It is a nucleic acid new drug for COVID-19 infection. Page 28. SNS-812 targets the conserved region of SARS-CoV-2, so it covers 99.8% variants. It has a broad spectrum inhibition on alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and Omicron variants. Page 29. SNS-812 is an inhalation dosage form and can resist virus mutation. In addition to the virus inhibition efficacy, it is also important that SNS-812 has no mutagenic concerns or drug-to-drug interaction concerns compared with the competitors. Page 30. We have conducted multiple preclinical studies using ACE2 transgenic mice and see SNS-812 inhibited the virus significantly in prophylactic treatment. Page 31. The post-exposure treatment of SNS-812 also demonstrates a significant inhibition of the original and Delta variants. The research data has been submitted to an influential international well-known journal, and we also anticipate the publication of this finding in the near future. Page 32. To facilitate the development of SNS-812, we're also working with the manufacturing and the laboratory partners for completing toxicology and studies and plan to submit an IND in the second half of this year. COVID-19 infection is very unpredictable, but it has shown a trend of becoming flu-like pattern. SNS-812 has an advantage of covering nearly all variants and as a safer approach without any mutagenic or drug-to-drug interaction concerns. Page 33. With the huge progress in the past year, we also anticipate great milestones for this year and onwards, including Fespizon market entry into China, regional out-licensing, and expected development under U.S. rolling submission. For FB825, the two study completion will be key for the subsequent development and future milestone payments. FB704A is under phase 2A and other indications were evaluated to proceed with a phase 2A in the first half of this year. We are looking to out-license this molecule upon achieving positive clinical data. With regards of SNS-A12, we aim to file an IND this year, and foreseeing the COVID-19 infection possibly became flu-like. Inhaled treatment approach with broad-spectrum inhibition of a virus would be able to address the future clinical need and solve the pandemic. Page 34. The last two slides are the 5-year balance sheet and income statement for your reference. Page 35. We have issued global depository shares last year for $177 million. The upfront payment from licensing of FBA25 will be recognized upon the completion of the phase 2A study in atopic dermatitis. Oneness Biotech has sufficient cash flow to support the upcoming 3 to 5 years drug development. Page 36. We also anticipate the company will turn into profitability in the mid to long term after Fespison is launched globally. And the licensing of new drug will also inject income in the future. This is also our strategy to establish a sustainable business model by sales and out-licensing of new drugs for cash flow to support future research and development. With the strong financial basis and our innovation of new drugs, we believe that Oneness is turning into a biopharma and it will be the leading company in Asia in the upcoming years. This is an update of Oneness Biotech. Thanks for your attention.